Dream, you look! Greetings, Vanquishers and Skyrim fans! Dovakin, the Thumfen all. So what's happening, guys? It's Dovakin. We are here with another video, and for that I'm gonna get some flowers. And okay, we are now near Windhelm, as you can see. This one will be a free tour in Windhelm, the capital of the Stormcloak Rebellion and stuff. And I'm doing the quest season unending anyway, so I wouldn't need to go to this city anyway, even with Ulfric on it. But let's just walk to the Altmer fella of the horses.
Oh, pardon me. Was I in your way? I hope someday we'll get to know each other better. My pa used to say, there ain't no use worrying about the things you can't change. If it's my fate to be ended by a dragon, so be it. Meantime, I'll live my life the way I want to. Sometimes the difference between life and death is a swift steed.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. Well, at least wait, what the fuck? At least the elves are allowed to, well, to sell horses in the city.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something. In the old fort near Riften. Might consider
Just run. Let's talk to these other two guards here.
We got a nickname for anyone who trifles with us guards here in Windhelm. Suicide. I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid. Gotta keep my eyes open. Damn dragons.
Ah, enough
could
of this
swoop
crap.
down at any
Let's
time.
go to the said city.
You come here where you're not wanted. You eat our food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
But we haven't taken a side because it's not our fight.
Hey, maybe the reason these Greyskins don't help in the war is because they're Imperial spies.
Imperial spies? You can't be serious.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.
Do you hate the Dark Elves? Are you here to bully us and tell us to leave?
No, I don't hate your people.
You've come to the wrong city then. Windhelm's a haven of prejudice and narrow thinking, unworthy of one such as you.
I ask only for charity.
Looked like those Nords were giving you trouble.
Nothing new there. Most of the Nords living in Windhelm don't care much for us, but Rolf is the worst by far. He likes to get drunk and walk around the Grey Quarter yelling insults at us in the small hours of the morning. Oh, a real charmer, that one.
Why would anyone think you were a spy?
Some of these Nords will come up with any excuse to despise us. And it isn't just the Dark Elves they hate. They make a target of the Argonians as well. In fact, just about anyone who isn't a Nord is fair game for their bullying.
Yes. After this, some Stormcloak supporters like that, like the author from the Stormcloak Bible, say that the Stormcloaks as a whole are not racist.
We're one of the same kind, you and I. I'm glad to have met you.
What time is it? 5 p.m.
Ain't nothing. You can spare that, can't you?
Until next time.
Let's just visit the Grey Quarter a little bit. Oi, sorry. Oh, wait, is the Grey Quarter around here? Ah, yes. Ah, around here. Yes, guys, this here is the Grey Quarter. The only place.
No one bought any flowers again today. I don't know what to do.
This is the only place that the Dark Elves can live in Windhelm.
I was
But
one of the best soldiers in the Stormcloak army until I took a sword to the chest.
yeah, the guards that complain about arrow in the knee may want to talk to you. Well, but let's be fair. There indeed was a decree of monument saying that this part was a monument of Windhelm, and after, let me just close this fucking door. After the eruption of the Red Mountain, the most Dunmer of Varfendel, if not all Dunmer of Varfendel, lost everything. Yeah, guys, basically the Red Mountain, it destroyed that beautiful place you played in The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. Yes, think about that for a second. Yeah, but the fact is that the infrastructure here is a piece of shit, as you can see. The stairs are shit, the roads are thin, the houses, they're pretty much the same. I don't know how I can say this.
Be on the lookout. The butcher could be around any corner.
Well, and many people say that the Stormcloaks, that Ulfric's Stormcloak does not do anything for the Dunmer to have a better infrastructure, because it was part of the decree of monument to let the Dunmer rule themselves. However, to rule themselves and to have money to have a decent life are not the same thing. Well, then you say, but to have a decent life, one should work. Only someone that works hard deserves to have a decent life. Yes, I agree with you. But the fact is that many Dunmer here work hard, even harder than many Nords on Windhelm. And yet, they lost everything thanks to the Red Mountain. And now they can only live here, and Ulfric does not give a shit.
Of course working for Bolfried isn't my first choice. But what else can a Dunmer do?
Let's enter here. See how it is like inside. Well, as you can see, the infrastructure here is shitty.
Would be a haven for my kind.
Oh, hello there, Mauer.
Wrong.
Yeah, just compare this to the. Yes, you can. Just my grandma. Look my video again. Well, as you can see, the infrastructure here is shitty. There are holes on the ground. Even a bottle of skooma here. Just take a look. This place is dirty as fuck. Just take a look at this. This place is horrible. Would you like to live here? Well, I wouldn't. Especially if I worked hard. And many Dunmer do work hard here in Windhelm.
The corner club's been filling up at night lately.
Windhelm is divided into 4 quarters. The Grey Quarter is the one that's home to all the city's dark elves. If it looks to you like an impoverished slum, that's because it is. Ulfric prefers that we live in squalor. He has nothing but disdain for anyone who isn't a Nord. He tolerates us, but that's the extent of his hospitality.
Ever think of moving to Morrowind?
Not a day goes by that I don't think about returning to the ancestral home of my people. Still, even with the rough treatment we've had at the hands of Ulfric and his lot, I've got ties here. It's probably more trouble to pack up and leave than it is to stay. Besides, Amberus can't run the corner club on his own.
It was a pleasure.
Oh, it's you! I didn't expect to see you again.
What?
We might be poor, but
Let's
is
talk.
it really any better out there?
How
Let's talk with
splendid.
this one here.
Another Nord.
Wait.
Come slumming to the Grey Quarter, have you?
How are the Dark Elves treated in Windhelm?
Well, you see where we have to live. This forgotten alley. All the filth from the upper quarters flows downhill, like they say. Good luck getting one of the guards to help with anything. I've tried to get Ulfric to even come down here to see the squalor, but the High Lord of his mightiness couldn't find the time.
Well, and as you can see, the Dunmer are of the Grey Quarter. I mean, those that are not bards or that do not do anything like that are not even allowed in the main inn of the city. All of this while Rolf Stonefist, that racist piece of crap, that lazy racist piece of skeever shit, is allowed to be there the whole day if he wishes.
None of that matters to me. Until someone takes a Dunmer, I'll let Windhelm deal with its own problems.
Well, you are just as bad as Rolf Stonefist himself then, you racist piece of shit.
Have a seat. There should be plenty
Yeah,
of
because
space.
racism is always bad. Yeah.
Apparently,
Racism against Red Guards is bad. Racism against Nords is bad. Racism against Dark Elves is bad. Racism against red-skinned folk with green dots and yellow stripes is bad. Every type of racism is bad. So just don't dare say anything about if the Stormcloaks are racist. Then you must condemn the Dunmer as well. Well, a mistake does not justify another mistake. Hey, there's no one here. Guess I'll just wait then. Just stare at the wall for countless hours. D. Yeah, I can only imagine people saying like, what the hell is this guy doing staring at this wall for countless hours? Is he crazy or something? Yeah, it would be pretty funny. Okay, they already respawned.
Maybe I'm the Dragonborn, and I just don't know it yet.
You have to be fucking.
Name's Moore. I'm the cook.
Ay. Let's talk to this Altmer right here.
I'd travel more, but who wants to deal with all the soldiers these days?
Are you treated as badly as the Dark Elves?
It was difficult at first. The Nords of this city are at best suspicious of outsiders. But in time, I made the right friends and proved myself useful enough that they don't give me trouble anymore. The Dark Elves are too proud and naive to understand the way things truly are, and so they continue to dwell in that slum.
Well, you see, you don't understand how the situation of the Dark Elves actually is.
Thank you for your
They
custom.
really have no other option. Ooh!
There's no glory in war. It's just something they tell soldiers so they'll risk their lives.
Look who we found here, Brunwolf Free Winter!
Take home Windhelm's finest and freshest produce today.
Let me just talk to you a little bit.
They call me a war hero. I'm no hero. I'm just a soldier who didn't want you one of those Skyrim for the Nords types.
Yes, anyone who's not a Norse trespasser. No, Skyrim is big enough for everyone.
Good. Too many Nords in this town have been listening to Ulfric's narrow-minded words. He's tough, loyal to his men, and a good leader. But if you're not a Nord, Ulfric will never trust you.
Buying and selling a
Well, as you can see, Ulfric really does not trust anyone who is not a Nord. Ulfric doesn't care about outsiders?
Whenever a group of marauders attack a Nord village, Ulfric is the first to sound the horn and send the men. But a group of Dark Elf refugees gets ambushed? A group of Argonians or a Khajiit caravan? No troops. No investigation. Nothing. There's a group of cutthroats out there right now that Ulfric doesn't lift a finger to bring to justice. As long as they don't threaten Nord land.
What if I took care of those bandits?
That's a brave offer. I'd be happy to throw in my coin behind that. You deal with them. I'll make sure you get paid. Maybe this old soldier will throw in some lessons as well.
Why help the Dark Elves?
Help the Dark Elves? Oh, you must have heard me talking to Malfir. The Dark Elves live in a run-down slum called the Grey Quarter. Ulfric's content to keep it that way. I guess they think I can open Ulfric's eyes to their plight and get him to lift a finger on their behalf. I'm trying, but Ulfric is set in his ways. For him, there's two kinds of people in this world. Nords and the folk beneath them.
That Dark Elf called you a war hero.
I killed a lot of High Elves in the Great War, and I didn't die. I guess that makes me a war hero. The Great War. There was nothing great about it. Thousands died on both sides. And where did it get us? Did we really save the Empire? Or did we just plant the seeds for Ulfric's uprising? And another war.
There's a pretty interesting philosophy.
Windhelm justice tastes like.
The blacksmiths are not here now. Okay then. We already went to the Grey Quarter. I think I'll go to the Palace of Kings now. Yeah, talk to Ulfric himself.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Balgruuf won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
The Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Balgruuf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breaths. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Ah, Ulfric will be the High King, you say? I'm still waiting for that damn moot. And well, we could see a pretty interesting conversation and a pretty big shitstorm in this palace. Well, the author of that Stormcloak Bible thing that I already talked about in my last video, the video about solitude, well, you may remember this. He used Ulfric's words, again, words, to say that he cares about Skyrim's people. Well, and he only used a small part of it, or at least he interpreted it on a very, very superficial way. Because as you can see, let's just remember something. First Ulfric says, what about their families? And then Galmar says, we are their families. And then Ulfric says that Galmar is right. Well, Ulfric basically said, you're right, Galmar. If they do not agree with us, if they are not with us, they are against us. Well,
the townsfolk call me captain because I used to be a sailor. The Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
Well, if this is freedom, I just don't know what is tyranny. And what he said about fighting for the man he has held on his arms. Well, yes. Fighting for the man that he has held on his arms and their children, the children that are being slaughtered in the battlefield thanks to the civil war. While he could have just tried to speak with High King Thoric and try to solve this on a more peaceful way without any need for spilled blood, but no, he chose the barbarian's way and killed the High King. So let's talk to this guy once and for all.
I remember you. You were at Helgen with us. Come to join the war. Speak with Galmar. He handles the new recruits.
Yeah, I remember you, you big-nosed fella. You were just hiding at that damn tower without even looking at your own soldiers. Yes. All of this while General Tullius was risking his own life to help the innocent townspeople from the dragon, even without having any way of effectively defending himself from the beast.
Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
Well, let's see what he has to say. Well, Sybil Stentor, that was present at the moment where Thoric was killed by, well, the guy I'm looking at right now. She said that that Ulfric finished the High King with his tomb. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Not entirely true, though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Thoric to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
Why did you kill High King? Why did you kill the High King?
I killed Thoric to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself?
Well, this shows how of a barbarian this guy is. How of a fool, how of an idiot. Well, as I said in my last video, protecting a country is not just about battle, it's not just about fighting, it's not just about the sword, the armor, and the shield. It is also about the diplomacy, and intellect. Thorek knew that, and this guy seems to not know this or ignore it.
Indeed, Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by Imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it. There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been hand-picked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to Imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making.
Well, then I ask you, what about Nordic tradition? You say you want to let the Nords rule themselves with their traditions and stuff, but what about the damn Moot? You should have at least tried to make the Moot after you killed the High King Thorek. Well, that is how the Nords are supposed to do with their traditions, right? You could at least have tried to tell the Empire that it was Nordic tradition that you should do this, but no, you just acted like if you said, fuck the Moot, I'll be High King myself. Well, you motherfucking hypocrite. Why are you fighting this war?
We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else but us.
Okay, let me...
With the gods.
It seems that you did not see this battle, never heard of this, so let me show something. Where is it? It is in the north, which is the war, and then Shepard is north, and Mordor's here. Yep, the Great War. The official book about the Great War. You say that you are in charge of an empire that will not bleed for you, and the stuff that they sold you. Now, let's see. That part about the war begins. Let's see. March of the Thirst. The Aldmeri advanced into Cyrodiil. Yes, they captured many cities like Leyawiin and Foch, I think. More southern cities. Sack of the Imperial City. Well, in 4th Era 174, the Thalmor leadership committed all available forces into the campaign in Cyrodiil, gambling on the decisive victory to end the war once and for all. Well, this was before the Battle of the Red Ring. During the spring, Aldmeri reinforcements gathered in southern Cyrodiil, and on 12th, I don't know how to really spell this, of second seed, they launched a massive assault on Imperial City itself. One army drove north to completely surround the city, while Lord Narfin's main force attacked the walls from the south, east, and west. The Emperor's decision to fight his way out of the city was, rather than make a last stand, and was a bold one. No general, what is this word, dared advise him to abandon the capital. But Titus II was proven right in the end. While the 80th Legion fought a desperate and doomed rearguard actions towards the city, well, let's just skip this part. You can pause and read if you want. Well, basically the Emperor had to retreat from the Imperial City to get more forces. To fight the Aldmeri army. They were caught by surprise, they were not prepared, and they needed to be prepared. So Titus II had to retreat to give the Empire a second chance. Unfortunately, well, the Aldmeri Dominion sacked the Imperial City, almost destroyed it, burned the palace, and committed unthinkable atrocities against them, the defenseless citizens. Well, war never changes. 4th Era 175, the Battle of the Red Ring. During the winter of 4th Era, 174, 175, the Thalmor seems to have believed that the war in Cyrodiil was all but over. Yeah, and about all the available forces for the campaign. If they thought that the war was over, they would not keep all the forces in the Imperial City, all the forces they gathered, because if they thought the war was over, they would just be like relaxed or something like this. Yeah, they made several attempts to negotiate with Titus II. The Emperor encouraged them in their belief that he was preparing to surrender. Meanwhile, he gathered his forces to retake the Imperial City in what is now known as the Battle of the Red Ring, a battle that will serve as a model for Imperial strategies for generations to come. Titus II divided his forces into three. One army, with the legions from Hammerfell under General Decianus, was hidden in the Colovian highlands near Chorrol. The Aldmeri were unaware that he was no longer in Hammerfell, possibly because the Imperial veterans Decianus had left behind Lady Aralenia to believe that she still faced an Imperial army. The second army, largely of Nord legions under General Jonah, took out the position near what the The main army was commanded by the Emperor himself and would undertake the main assault of the Imperial City from the north. On 30th of Rain's Hand, the bloody Battle of the Red Ring began as General Decianus swept down on the city from the west, while General Jonah's legionnaires drove south along the Red Ring Road. In a 2-day assault, Jonah's army crossed the Niben and advanced west, attempting to link with Decianus' legions and thus surround the Imperial City. Lord Narfin was taken by surprise by Decianus' assault, but Jonah's troops faced bitter resistance from Aldmeri counterattack from Braveville to Skingrad. The heroic Nord legionnaires held firm, however, beating off the piecemeal Aldmeri attacks. Well, the piecemeal, yes. As you can see, these piecemeal parts, yeah, they, as the word itself says, piecemeal. There were not so many forces against the Nord legionnaires. By the 5th day of the battle, the Aldmeri army in the Imperial City was surrounded. Titus II led the assault from the north, personally capturing Lord Narfin. It is rumored that the Imperial wielded the famed sword Goldbrand, although this has never been officially confirmed by the Imperial government. An attempt by the Aldmeri to break out the city to south was blocked by the unbreakable shield wall of General Jonah's battered legions. In the end, the main Aldmeri army in Cyrodiil, not in Tamriel, was completely destroyed. The Emperor's decision to withdraw from the Imperial City in 4th Era 174 was bloodily vindicated. Well, this last paragraph is not needed. Now, in the next page. Although victorious, the Imperial armies were in no shape to continue the war. The entire remaining Imperial force was gathered in Cyrodiil, exhausted and decimated by the Battle of the Red Ring. Not a single legion had more than half of its soldiers fit for duty. 2 legions have been effectively annihilated, not counting the loss of the 80th during the retreat from the Imperial City the previous year. Titus II knew that there would be no better time to negotiate peace, and in late 4th Era 175, the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion signed the White Goat Concordat, ending the Great War. Well, this is what matters. So, well, Ulfric, you say that the Empire will not bleed for us.
Make it quick, I'm a busy man.
You say that the Empire will not bleed for you, for the Nords. When they bled
yes,
as much as they could.
It quick, I'm a busy man.
As much as they could in the Great War. They just use something that you don't know how to use, that is a strategy. And just to complete this, well, as a compliment to the part of the results of the Battle of the Red Ring, you saw that the Imperial Army was like fucked up. But let's talk about the Aldmeri Dominion. Was the Aldmeri Dominion so fucked up? Well, the author of the Stormcloak Bible, for example, says that thanks to the fact that the Thalmor gathered all available forces for the assault, that the Aldmeri Dominion could be defeated. But the fact is that Alinor, the province of the Aldmeri Dominion, the main province, wasn't touched by the Imperials. All of this without mentioning that the Imperial city was sacked and almost destroyed. The capital was almost destroyed. And there were few, if no, resources left for future battles. Without mentioning the fact that if the Imperials continued to fight, they would have to go through either elsewhere, the land of the Khajiit, or Valenwood, with dense forests. Yeah, so there's no way the Empire could win the Great War. I talk about this in far more details on my posts refuting that Stormcloak Bible. Well, you can read it if you want. You just have to search Refuting the Stormcloak Bible. It is also on DeviantArt. Now,
speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
Oh, well, so the Empire did bleed for you.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Good. We still hold half of Skyrim despite everything the Empire could throw at us. I doubt the Empire has the stomach for much more bloodletting. Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
Heh. Well, as we can see how much Ulfric really wants freedom and peace. He's only going to that peace council to give Tullius another chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs. All of this while Tullius just goes to the council because he cannot ignore the Greybeards. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I may do a part 2 of this, talking more about Windhelm, but for this part it is enough. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next video. Rotum.